Not only am I the firstborn child, but I'm also a firstborn daughter. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a recovering perfectionist, type A personality, ENFJ, INFJ, depending on the day. All of that is little tidbits of information that should tell you that yes, your girl loves to plan. And I love even more so resetting my planning life, trying new things, experimenting. It keeps the love alive for the whole process, and that helps me stay more consistent with the tools I use. So today I want to take you along with me as I update my planning tools, talk about what I've been loving, what's been working, and just explore all the different planning opportunities, both in a physical capacity and a digital one. Before diving into all that fun though, I do want to say a quick thank you to Akiflow for sponsoring today's video. Akiflow is such a cool tool for digital planning. More on that in a bit. I'm ready to dive into all this planning goodness, so let's begin. I've used my fair share of digital and physical planners, but it's been a while, admittedly, since I've had a really traditional physical planner like this one in front of me. This is by Fringe. I found it at HomeSense for like $14.99, and something about the cover of it drew me to it, but also the simplicity of the spreads. The layout is very blank, which, you know, I think can at first come off as being boring, but I look at it as an opportunity to play with my own stickers and colors and tools. Something at this point in my life right now wants the physicality of a planner, and I feel like this will really fit in as being a good space to plan out like more personal things, because I think I use a lot of my digital planning tools to do a lot of work stuff, which I need in my work life to manage like all the pieces of content that I'm filming, editing, outlining. But I think for like my personal goals and more self-care activities and almost like self-reflection type stuff, it makes sense to do it in a physical thing like this. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna set it up for that purpose, starting off by ripping off this doohickey. There's a nice little folder at the front. I love this little page of stickers that they gave. It's very green and blue tones, which are up my alley. Obviously a year overview. Now I need to rip out all of August because I am no longer in August. We're in September, October land. So I am gonna rip this out. The benefit of coils is it makes it pretty easy to rip things out when you need to. I also think I'm gonna rip out September because we're approaching the end of September and I'd rather just start this fresh for October. Okay, so it starts off each month with a little October at a glance page. There's a section here for October goals, October birthdays, anniversaries, to-dos, additional notes. I feel like this October anniversaries section is really unnecessary. You know, how many anniversaries does one have every month? I'm gonna add some October goals though. One thing is I want to crochet project I can wear, paint a canvas. This is also spooky season, so I feel tempted to draw some little ghosties. That one's looking a little weird, but it's okay. We'll do maybe like a little crescent moon, stars. Right, that's kind of fun. I've got these beautiful black washi tape stickers. I'm gonna black this out with a black highlighter and turn this into a section for spooky movies to watch. There's my at a glance page so far. I'm gonna leave it at that. There's obviously lots of room here still to do some writing, but you can already see that this is leaning to a more personal direction, which is the little bits I have filled in so far. Like, I really want to make focaccia bread. I know it's fairly simple. I've made like other loaves of bread before. That surely can't be too difficult, she said, hopefully, but I want to give it a go. This is just a little bit more on the creative, personal side of things, and even the fact that I'm able to just like have fun with some doodles, some stickers, but not go too crazy with it where it's like a huge time-consuming thing is nice. Here is the monthly calendar. I am going to use these little dots here as a little legend. Purple will be appointments. Yellow will be self-care. Pink will be chores, so that's like stuff that I have to do around the apartment. And then this gray one I'll say is finances. October is Halloween month, so I kind of want to have fun with this beautiful, festive, spooky washi tape. calendar here, but it is not my main calendar. My main calendar is the digital one that I'm going to talk about shortly. But one of the problems with physical planners or physical calendars, if you are using it as your like main calendar, is that sometimes you can have like something somewhat in the works, an appointment that you might make on a certain day, or a dinner you might make on a certain day, a hangout with friends on a certain day, like whatever it is, but it's not concrete. So I think transparent sticky notes are really handy for that. This is a set that has like these grids on it, but there are ones without the grid. I forgot where I got these, but it's a Japanese brand, and of course there's no label, but if I can find them, I will link them. Great about these is you could put it on a date like October 17th and write on it, I'm gonna use a Sharpie, reserved. So now you know on the calendar that it's reserved for something. There's potentially something on that date, so you might not schedule something else. But then when it is confirmed or not confirmed, you can take it off and either add it to your calendar or just remove it because it's no longer relevant, or move it to a different date, whatever it is. Say they call and they're like, you know what? We need to make it a Tuesday vibe. And I'm like, okay, no problem, reserve. I feel like everyone's been giving transparent sticky notes a lot of love for like book annotating, but it definitely has relevance for planning. And we'll turn the page here to our weekly layout. I'm not gonna do much here aside from a couple things. One, do I wanna add more stickers? I'm gonna add this main tab. This is an Avery tab to the top of my page so I can easily find the week. I think the ghosts would make a nice addition here. Maybe a spider web too at the side with a little creepy crawler. Gross. Typically I do like a vertical layout for planners, but again, because this is more of a personal planner, I think the horizontal kind of works out because I want to do a little bit more writing in here. So one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to split these days into two sections. I'm not going to be precise about this at all. The left side is a section for me to write down what I imagine to be like a self-care task of the day. And then the longer section has a little bit more room because there is where I think it'd be a really natural place to add some gratitude. I haven't like physically been writing down my gratitude logs in a while because I've been journaling. Sometimes I am talking about gratitude in my journal, but it's not like a guaranteed daily thing. So I think it'd be nice to like bring that in, or at least like bring that in for this week. If I don't want to do that the following week, I don't have to. That's kind of the great part about personalizing things. At the top, I'll write feeling grateful for ... and then I can just write down whatever it is that I want to write. I'll add some color in the form of neutral brown, and within a couple of minutes we're set up and ready to go. Again, probably something that's going to look very different week to week depending on what I'm kind of feeling like I need, but just an opportunity for me at the beginning of the day or at the end of the workday to kind of check in and have a little gratitude moment. Make sure I'm prioritizing like a task that makes me feel good. Yeah, there's something really cute about this though, little setup. So I'm excited. A new planner gets me pumped, and for $14.99, it's hard to say no to that. Digital planning tools are absolutely the foundation to my planning systems because unlike physical planners, digital tools can follow me everywhere, and I use a variety of them. Some of the main ones I use include Google Calendar. That's where I do my main scheduling. It's the calendar I look at every single day to know what I'm supposed to be doing. When it comes to outlining videos, brainstorming, kind of coming up with content calendars, that all happens in Notion. I also have a life management dashboard that I've used. I've done some videos on Notion. I'll include them in the links in the description box below. Another one I use pretty much daily is Microsoft To Do. I often use this on my phone versus the desktop because on my phone it can turn into a widget where I can quickly make a list of the top 1 to 3 priorities of the day. Now, as much as I love using all of these tools so much, admittedly I do lose out on this idea of being able to see everything in one place because I'm using all these different applications. However, that changed once I discovered Akiflow. Akiflow is an easy to use time blocking platform that really streamlines the process of scheduling out tasks so that you can be more productive. I'm gonna take you on a tour on what mine looks like and how I use it. Let's get into it. Here's what my Akiflow looks like currently. I have it integrated with those 3 apps I just talked about, Google Calendar, Notion, and Microsoft To Do. And what that means is it's pulling information from all those platforms that I plan in and bringing it into one spot. So as you can see here in my inbox section, it's pulling up tasks that that I have in my content planner in Notion. It's pulling up tasks that I have written in Microsoft To Do, and all of my scheduling in my Google Cal is already set up here. And if you go to the top right here, there's like this little sync button. If you press it, it'll resync with all those platforms. So any changes that you make anywhere, it'll make those changes and carry them through to your Akiflow dashboard. I really like time blocking in my schedule because I want to make sure that I'm being efficient with my time. So for example, I don't want to be answering emails at all times of the day. I want to do it during a designated inbox time, and that allows me to really fall into a flow with that task. So there are a few things that are always pre-scheduled to be done, like content planning, inbox. I do have a reminder for fueling my body every day at lunch because that's a meal that I often skip just because I'm caught up in workflow. And Akiflow makes it really easy to know what all of my tasks are because they're all right here to the left, no matter what platform I use to kind of make those arrangements. And then I keep the rest of the sections blank for me to drag and drop tasks in. Mondays are usually admin days. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are typically my filming days, and Thursdays and Fridays are typically my editing days, but that does fluctuate depending on the week. So at the start of the week, how I use Akiflow is I go to my task list here in my inbox. And the first thing I would probably do is add any new tasks that come to mind that I need to get to. I do have an email I need to reply to, so I'm gonna add that. And you can see when I added that task, the AI in Akiflow immediately categorized it as a work task. So if I go to the work project section here, I'll see all of those work tasks right here, which makes it really easy for me to differentiate between work, personal, and learning tasks. But you can go even further for like when you're planning a trip, have a different project label. If you're doing an organization project, you can have a different project label for that so that it's easy to filter things. I need to make edits to reel because I just got feedback for a branded piece of content that needs some changes to it. I'm gonna take it a step further by adding tags to each of these tasks I just created. This is an admin task. This is a filming task. Then I can proceed to actually schedule these tasks into my calendar by just drag and dropping them into my schedule. So make edits to reel, that's gonna go into my Thursday morning editing session. Reply to Kim, I'm gonna put that in my Tuesday morning inbox section. My filming task, I'm gonna slot this in on Wednesday, and this is actually probably more like a 45-minute task. Now say there's a task on this list that I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to this week. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to film a video about my smart home favorites. So I can go to the command bar here or use the shortcut Command K. And I can quickly do a variety of things for the task, but I'm gonna snooze it and I'm gonna have it remind me next week. It disappears from my inbox for the week, but it'll come back next week. And then at that point I can assess whether or not it's gonna be something I can schedule in. And then I've got these tasks for Microsoft To Do that I can also slot in there. So I had said that I wanna update my mood board. That sounds like a good Sunday task. I also want to sign up for Portuguese lessons. I think we're going to do that on Saturday because I'll have some time to do that. I have to draft an outline. That's going to go in my admin day, and I think it's going to span a few hours, honestly, because I've got to do a couple of videos. Now I brought all my tasks into my schedule. Obviously there's gaps in my schedule still. Those are going to be filled in with other things, but this gives me some flexibility to still structure my days a little bit differently on the day of if need be. As mentioned, I'm currently integrated with Google Calendar, Notion, and Microsoft To Do, but as you can see, there's a lot of different platforms like Asana and Slack, Outlook, and to-do lists that also integrate really seamlessly with Akiflow. And what's really great for all like the to-dos I scheduled into this calendar, I can actually then go in and check mark them. And as you can see here, it prompts me so that not only am I collecting data, but I can also update those other platforms. So I can have it mark this task as complete on Microsoft To Do. And ta-da! The design of Akiflow is very intuitive, but if you do have any questions, you can actually book an onboarding call for free and someone will guide you through how to use it. And there's also some really helpful how-to guides. So needless to say, if you want to add some more productivity into your digital planning life, then go click the link in the description box below to give it a try for yourself. Cannot underemphasize how important note-taking really plays a role in keeping me organized in my life. I have a pretty inconsistent memory for detail, so if I don't write something down, it goes in one ear, out the other. It's really cute, actually. I love that about me. It is no secret that my iPad is one of my favorite note-taking tools, but I also like using Notion for note-taking. So when do I use either or? Why do I use both? When I was a student, I would use my iPad for digital note-taking because I really liked the act of physically writing a note, but still having the benefit of being able to search my handwriting, which apps like GoodNotes make that really possible to do. These days I do tend to see myself using GoodNotes in a more personal fashion. Like for example, for The Artist's Way, I am currently doing a 12-week program with The Artist's Way. It's a 12-week program, but it's taking me a lot longer than 12 weeks to get through it. That's fine. But each week there's a lot of journaling and questions and tasks to do that I like to record in one spot, and I found that GoodNotes is a really great place for me to do that because I can integrate photos into my notes as well really easily, which sometimes some of the tasks are definitely aided by having a visual component integrated into them. I love the fact that I can easily add doodles into my notes, so you're getting that creative touch to the notes, but they are still digital. It's like the best of both worlds. I've also been using it in a crochet capacity to like import patterns, and I can write notes or keep track of my stitches on here. Very convenient. We love GoodNotes. We love the iPad. Now Notion ends up being the note-taking platform of choice for me when I have to do a lot of writing and a lot of like editing with my writing as well. I'm drafting an outline and then I'm reworking the script, or I'm reworking a caption. Whenever I talk about Notion, I've demonstrated how much I really like the fact that it has databases, and these databases make it really simple to even organize lots of information. So for me, like just being able to have all of my brainstormed YouTube video ideas in one spot, and then furthermore be able to go into detail with one click about each of those different ideas that I have is so convenient. Like I can just really easily find what I'm looking for. I've been very open this year that journaling has become a big part of my daily routine, and I don't think we necessarily tend to think of journaling as a planning tool, but I do find it is an organization tool. It's just an organization tool that happens a little bit more indirectly than scheduling things into a calendar, for example. Like I think when you're using a journal to get out your thoughts onto paper, there is this beautiful release of intense emotions. And I feel like as you do it more and more, and eventually even like go back to entries that you wrote weeks ago or months ago, you have this ability to kind of organize your thinking and see patterns in your thinking. Because I've been journaling so consistently this year, I am starting my 4th journal of 2024, which is bizarre to say, but clearly I got a lot of thoughts to get down on paper. So I got a new journal. This is the Leuchtturm 1917 journal. It's this beautiful green color that I talked about in a recent haul. I quote unquote stole from my mom's stash. She had a surplus stash of journals at home, as any journal lover typically does. I have my own stash of surplus journals, and I saw this one and just loved the color for this time of year, so I decided to go with it. It's a grid style notebook, which typically I'm a dotted girl, but the grid has been fun, gotta say. And it's just a spot for me to write down my thoughts at the start of every day. That's one of the first things I do in the morning. I write down 3 pages as directed by The Artist's Way. You're supposed to do morning pages every single day, which is 3 pages of journaling, of writing about whatever you want. Like you can fill those 3 pages however you have to get through to 3 pages. That's your only task though, is to get to that 3-page mark. So I've been doing that like pretty much every single day this year, hence the reason we're on the 4th journal. And this time, as you just saw, I decided to customize it with these beautiful stickers. And I think I'm inspired to do some more customizing on my journals in the future, because as much as I love the simplicity of just a blank notebook, I don't know why I've never really thought to decorate my notebook cover. I don't think have I ever done that? Even when I was bullet journaling, I don't think I really ever did that, the customization cover thing. There's something about the eclecticness of this that makes me feel less pressured to just dive into the journal, which I know for some people when they're like starting a new reflection journal or junk journal or scrapbook, or you're doing a photo album or whatever creative thing that you're doing, there's like this idea that it has to look a certain way to be doing it right. And it can be really freeing to just like go into an experience and say, hey, look, I got stickers all over my notebook. This is not a place for perfection. This is a place for getting done. So obviously you don't need a fancy journal to start journaling your thoughts, but I do think when it comes to doing things consistently every day, there is an element of joy that should be found in the process. And this is one of the ways I found to find a little bit more joy with my journaling process, because again, 4th journal, so I was starting to get a little bit snooze about the plain covers, and this has been a nice switch up. Some of these stickers are from Amazon, so I'll include those in the description box below, but the other one is like a Japanese stationery company. and I found it at a really small stationery store in Toronto, so I doubt I'll be able to find a link for it, but I will try. Thanks again to Accuflow for sponsoring today's video, and just as a reminder, don't forget to click the link in the description box below so you can give Accuflow a try for yourself. There's just something so soul satisfying about having all my planning stuff in good standing, so thank you so much also for joining me today on this fun adventure. I hope you guys got some good tips and insights from it. So much of the conversation around planners happens at the beginning of the year, and we'll definitely be having conversations about that at the beginning of 2025. But I do think it's a good time of year to reassess what you're doing, because why not end the year as strong as possible? What is your favorite planning tool right now? Like, are you using a physical planner? Are you just relying on a digital calendar? What are the things that you're doing? What's working? The curiosity is eating me up alive, so don't leave me hanging. Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you all soon with a new one. Until then, ciao.
Simple, simple, simple minds. I guess we'll take it one by one, baby, one by one. Just different, different, different kinds. We'll try to take it one by one, baby, one by one. Too many problems, I'm already lost, yeah. My baby, I do. I miss you too many nights. I miss your colorful lights. I think I love you too much. I miss your blueberry